And joining me now, Oversight Committee member, Democrat James Walkinshaw. It's good to see you, Congressman. What questions do you think it's important for Pam Bondi to answer, and do you think she'll answer them?
Well, here's what we know. We know that Pam Bondi was Attorney General at a time where the Department of Justice failed to comply with the law. The Epstein Files Transparency Act was very clear. They had to release all of the Epstein files with only limited redactions, limited categories of redactions. They, to date, have failed to release all the files and illegally redacted thousands of files. So I want to know who made those decisions. Who made the decision to not release all the files? Who made the decisions to illegally redact a number of the files that seemingly were redacted purely to prevent Donald Trump from being embarrassed? Did she make them? Did Todd Blanche make them? Did someone else make them? What conversations, if any, did she have with the President of the United States or folks in the White House about those decisions? I think those are all among the many questions that she needs to answer pursuant to the committee subpoena.
Let me ask you then again the second part of the question, which is she has shown herself to be combative in these situations. Do you think you'll get the answers you're looking for if indeed she does testify?
Well, look, her approach when she's asked a question that she doesn't want to answer is to, as you note, become combative. Look, when you're under oath in a deposition, you got to answer the questions. And without the kind of drama of the committee hearing room that she has utilized to play to her audience of one Donald Trump, I think it'll be more difficult for her to do that. She'll be required by the subpoena to answer the questions that are asked. And I think she'll have to do that, whether it's now or in the future.
But I'm jumping ahead a little bit. So let me ask you, if she decides not to show, if she refuses to answer that subpoena, is there an appetite among your House colleagues to hold her in contempt? Have you had those conversations with your colleagues?
Well, Chairman Comer laid out a very clear precedent with the Clintons. When they didn't appear on the date and time that he chose, he ultimately moved to criminal contempt charges against them. So we have a clear precedent on the Oversight Committee now. I do think if she refuses to comply with this subpoena, contempt is something that we'll have to pursue, either criminal or civil, and that absolutely will be on the table. And look, this was a bipartisan subpoena, as Michael noted, 5 Republicans joining it, Nancy Mace being very clear in the last 48 hours that she expects compliance. I think we will get that, and if not, Congress will pursue contempt charges against Pam Bondi.
Let me ask you briefly about a couple of other big names who are coming in. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, I understand, is testifying May 6th, perhaps more of interest now because after claiming he cut ties with Epstein in 2005, he later admitted having lunch on his island in 2012. Of course, Lutnick has denied ever doing anything inappropriate, but what do you think his testimony could add?
Well, I think for me, the question for Secretary Lutnick is, why did he straight up lie to the American people, right? He said that his relationship with Epstein ended far earlier than it did. He said explicitly he never went to the island. We then learned he did go to the island. How do you forget going to an island? Why did he lie to the American people? And he's a Commerce Secretary. What else is he lying to the American people about if he lied about this? That's what I want to know from Howard Lutnick.
Then there's billionaire Bill Gates set to appear for a closed-door deposition on June 10th. We know he met with Epstein a number of times after his conviction. What are you looking to learn from him?
Well, I think with Mr. Gates, the question will be, is there any truth or veracity to some of the things that were in Epstein's emails, right? Epstein wrote draft emails making allegations about Mr. Gates that, he had this affair with a Russian woman, and Epstein perhaps knew it, or Epstein facilitated access to women for Gates. Gates, it's important to note, denies that. But I think we have to ask questions about that to determine whether there's any truth to it and whether the relationship had any more depth than Gates has conceded publicly.
Congressman James Walkinshaw, thank you.